Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss now. I'm done living life with the lights up, done with my own doubts.
Hi everybody, good afternoon and welcome to another day of our TikTok 3.0 coming live here from Uni Raza. Of course, we are not live in campus, we are all in an individual home because, following the rule and the SOP of a government, we all have to work from home, with the current situation that we are facing. So welcome, my name is Tara and I am from the Center for Continuing Education here at Uni Raza. And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us. You are sacrificing 60 minutes of your precious time with us. To our loyal viewers who are always there to tune in with us, thank you again. And to those of you who are new, please follow us on our social media pages, MyUniRaza on Facebook and also Instagram, same MyUniRaza, the same handle. And also, if you're watching from our YouTube channel, MyUniRaza, please remember to subscribe to us. We really appreciate your participation and we really appreciate you watching and joining us today on this fine Friday afternoon. So today, what is the topic that we're going to be looking at today? What we're going to be talking about today, it's very, very much related to our current situation. It is something that the whole world has been talking about. People are still talking about it, and I think we're going to be talking about this for a very long time. The status of the coronavirus in Malaysia, or more commonly known as the COVID-19, is still very, very worrying, and the number of cases today, as of today, is 9,180. It's, I think, by far the highest number of newly infected cases in Malaysia, 9,180, and it's so high. But no matter what, life still goes on. We are waiting to be vaccinated. Many Malaysians are waiting need to be vaccinated. Children are still waiting to go to school, but life still has to go on. And especially for university students, higher education students, the need to continue their education in order to prepare themselves for their future is most important. Okay, it's of most importance. And to the academy, to link, yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you still hear me? Yeah, okay. So we'll guide you through on how to prepare your study pathway to link your learnings with your personal future or career goals. And our topic is coping through the pandemic. There is no compromise in quality. It will help you gain more information and that will definitely benefit you in your future decision making. Now, before we continue, let's watch a quick video by Raza. Thank you. Wasn't that nice? Yeah, as you can see, we have got our academic experts here on screen. Welcome and thank you so much for sparing your Friday afternoon. So if you can see, we have Dr. Seha, we have Ms. Farahana, we have Mr. Rasyid. So let me just go on and continue with a quick introduction of our speakers. First, we will introduce our first speaker, which is Assistant Professor Dr. Noorseha Ayob. Okay, she is the Dean of the Rakyat School of Business, Innovation, Technology, and Entrepreneurship. So maybe later Dr. Seha can tell us how can we shorten the name of our faculty. It sounds a little bit long, right? So Dr. Seha is the Dean, right, of the Rakyat School of Business, Innovation, Technology, and Entrepreneurship here at Raza, and has been teaching for the past decade. So she has massive experience in this field. She has a degree in finance, an MBA in corporate entrepreneurship, and also a PhD in social innovation. So Dr. Seha is definitely someone who's an expert, in the field of finance, corporate entrepreneurship, and social innovation. She has also been involved in substantial projects such as the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, GEM, Successful Transgenerational Entrepreneurship Practices, and also involved in the BAPSIM Symposium for Entrepreneurship Education, and as well as a few other wonderful and very important things that is definitely part of this academic community. Apart of that, she has also been involved in advising and monitoring students for the One Malaysia Young Entrepreneur Challenge, right? And a few other interesting competitions such as the DG Challenge for Change competition. And it's also amazing that Dr. Seha is a published writer in several peer-reviewed journals, book chapters, and case studies for both teaching and learning. Welcome, Dr. Seha. Thank you so much for spending
Thank
your
you.
afternoon with us.
Thank you. Thank you for the introductions.
So, Dr. Seha, before we continue with the other speakers, can you tell us how should we call the faculty?
Oh,
The
okay.
name of the faculty is very
Yeah, it was known as BRSBE previously, but then because we have introduced a few programs for IT, and we have Bachelor of Information Technology and we have Diploma in Information Technology. So there are quite a number of IT programs that we have introduced. So we rename our faculty to Breastbite, BRS BITE. So I think short form it will be just like Breastbite.
breastbite. That's wonderful.
Breastbite.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that clarification, Dr. Seha. Let's go to our second speaker. Let me introduce you our second speaker. Our second speaker is Mr. Nurul R. Rasyid Muhammad Saad. He is Deputy Dean of Breastbite. Yes, and he has also a decade of teaching experience focused on human resources, management, e-commerce, cross-culture, public and private, and NGO related, and others, right? So it's actually quite a varied field, right? And Mr. Rashid's education background is he graduated from Coventry University in the UK and has a Master's of Business Administration in Human Resources, right? So, and besides that, Mr. Rashid also has corporate experiences working in the management, besides working in the academic and teaching field. How are you, Mr. Rashid? Everything good?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can't wait to hear from you after this. Let's move on to our third speaker. Let me introduce you to our third speaker. Our third speaker is Miss Farahana Binti Muhammad Nazri. She is a lecturer here also at Breastbite, which stands for, again, the Bank Rakyat School of Business, Innovation, Technology and Entrepreneurship. She graduated with a Master's of Business Administration and also a Master's of Business majoring in Marketing. So almost a decade in experience teaching in university also, and her subject matter expert, she's a subject matter expert in marketing and management. So welcome, Ms. Farahana. How are you doing?
Hi, Tara. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. All right, let's get straight into the question, right? So our topic for today, it's about quality. How we cannot compromise quality, even though at this time when we are facing a pandemic, where education has totally taken a different role, a different challenge. The challenges are different, the problems are different, but still, students' career need to move on. Students need to keep learning. This is for their future. So, Dr. Seha, this is the first question for you. We often hear that there is no compromise in quality during the pandemic, right? What is your perspective on this? What is the meaning of quality? Is it about a certain quality of the quality of certain education level, and how, or the way of how an educational institute delivers its learning process during the pandemic? So what is this quality to you, Dr. Steha?
Right. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Tara, for the questions. So I believe I think we should provide the best service to our client, which is our students. If you ask me from the perspective of the academicians, so I would say I will be a bit lenient during these difficult times, because we know that everyone is facing a difficult time. They have to stay at home, they have to stay connected, and sometimes they might not have the conducive environments for them to study. They might not have a good internet plans. Their nephews and nieces might be at home, same like the lecturers, all our kids might be at home. So we do not want to jeopardize their learning processes. So I think they are not the only one who have been affected. Everyone has been affected by this pandemic. Students, programs, we have to switch from physical to online mode. Top management, faculty, academic staff, support staff, etc. So somehow, I think we have a good systems that we have in place that we are using currently, which is UROX, that stands for Universal Online Experience. to cater for teaching and learning purposes. So all the materials, slides, notes, live classes, recorded video will be uploaded in the systems, and not to forget the assessments. The students can submit their assignments, tutorials, as well as sit for their tests and exam tutorials. And even more, I think some of the lecturers do extra miles to provide Kahoots. This is what we call as interactive tools to get the students engaged. So hence, I think I agree with you that the quality of education provided needs to be there. It has to be there. They have to invest in a good like LMS systems, which emphasize on online platforms for the effective learning to take place, and for us to remain engaged with the students. Otherwise, I think they will just like they will be demotivated to learn during these difficult times.
Great. Yes. It's very easily to be demotivated with anything, in life, especially when we are cooped up alone. Of course, we have our family. If you're lucky enough to live with the family or lucky enough to live with a good support system, but it can be so easily, you can so easily be demotivated. So I think like what you said, lectures taking the extra mile, doing activities, doing things like Kahoot, and also making sure that the quality and the interest, is still there to drive students to keep learning. That's interesting. Thank you. Let's go to Mr. Rasyid. This is for many students. This is kind of considered, their second year, studying online, especially those who registered last year as first semester student. This is probably their second year already studying online. Do you think that students find online learning very stressful? This is your personal perspective, or maybe some students have told you or spoken to you. Maybe you can share with the students, how can they manage their stress and anxiety?
All right, thank you, Ms. Tara. Okay, to address this question, do the student find online learning stressful? Here is my answer. Of course, no. Okay, the main reason is being conducted only and very convenient for them by using whether your mobile phone, tab, laptop, or PC at home, however they want, whether in a sleep pose, sitting down outside the house, eating while learning, and so on. Point number two, the structure of teaching material had been prepared in such great ways to attract student attention. For example, we do have YouTube video sharing, interactive online quizzes, and tutorial, external speaker talk from industry or academic sector. We invite them to spice up the teaching session and many more. The last point that I'm going to share with all of you today is, if the student unable to attend the online lesson on the specific time schedule due to certain unavoidable issues, they always can go back to the online platform that the universities use and watch back the lecture and class activities recorded video, which is the one that being mentioned by Dr. Noorseha. You rock. No worries of get left behind or miss the lecture. So quick notes, all of these points shared by me are based on my personal experience teaching Rakyat students using this online platform since March 2020 until now, okay, due to COVID-19 and MCO situation. Maybe the other lecturers have their own unique reason on this as well. To move to your second part of the question, for this, everyone had our own stress and anxiety, especially when we need to use a new method of learning compared to our traditional face-to-face teaching learning process during school. So no worries, adik-adik sekalian. Here are the tips that might be able to help you overcome your stress and anxiety during online learning. Number one, getting enough sleep before the next day of your class. Why? You might face your an early class, for example, 8:30 p.m. like that. So this is quite important for you. Number two, staying social. You also can WhatsApp and call your lecturer to get advice and extra explanation for the topic that involved or you didn't understand. Okay, and then number three, eat well with healthy foods. Your body, your GPA will thank you seriously. Okay, later. Number four, manage your time wisely. Number five, get help if you need it. This is important and take it seriously when you are feeling stress and anxiety. Whether get help from your family members, friends, or your favorite lecturer. But if you notice that you are not coping, seek professional help. All right. So lastly, stay positive all the time, and not less. Number six, maybe stay positive all the time. Life is full of successes and failures, guys, and it is what you do with both of these that will impact how you grow and learn as a person. Okay, staying motivated all the time, thinks about what you're going to achieve. Okay, always plan and prepare for your classes, and lastly, prioritize your mental health. All right, so yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mental health, it's something that it's not a new topic. Many people have been talking about it. We have so many NGOs, specifically catered just to help people with mental health issues. But there are many students who might face this quietly on their own. Yeah, so it's definite. Thank you. Those tips were great tips. I hope those of you who are watching us, you're taking down notes. And those of you, if you have any questions or you have any comments, please feel free. I think just now we had already one comment by Mr. Arif, one of our very loyal viewers. Thank you so much for viewing and commenting at the beginning, right? So, moving on from that, how students are coping and learning online. Studying physically and online, they are not the same. It's definitely not the same. Physically, when you are in class, you have your lecturers. You have to make sure that you're present, because they might call you. They might ask you to do group activities. You have to participate. But when you're learning online, sometimes you can just turn off your camera. Some students do that, and we cannot fault them if they turn off their camera, right? So this question is for Farahana, right, Miss Farahana. Do you think that students nowadays might be good at soft skills and people skills? Because or do you think they're lacking in their soft skills and people skills because they do not meet their classmates or their lecturer in the physical world? And if you think that they're not, maybe what can they do to enhance and build their confidence level and their people skill with the Uniraza program also?
All right, thank you, Tara, for the question. So I do think that students and nowadays can be good at soft skill and people skill, even though they are not meeting their friends physically. But with these tips that I will share with you after this, they might gain some confidence in terms of having this learning throughout online. Yeah? So these are the few tips that I would like to share. So here, always participate and get active, even though you are not physically at your class, physically looking at your friends, and then you need to make sure that you need to get active and try to switch on camera sometimes to make sure that you can view your friends, view your lecturers, so that you can have that two-way communication between one another. Okay, take part in exercises, discussions, if possible. You may ask questions. Think about ways you can link what you are learning to knowledge you already have. Okay, so be active. Right. So next is always interact and discuss with your classmates. Right. So even though it is not physically, it is not live, but try to make it as what you are being at in campus. So always interact, okay, online discussion forum where you can talk about your course content with your classmates. So take up these opportunities that you have, and this discussion will deepen your learning. Okay, so if these opportunities aren't organized, you may want to arrange meeting with your classmates virtually or in person. So I think throughout this effort, students might gain their confidence level from time to time. Okay. Last tip that I would like to share is to recognize your growth. Okay, so pay attention to how much you learn and how much more effective you become at learning online. Okay, so do not think that online is a bad thing. Okay, try to switch your mindset by saying that online is another good thing, it's another good platform for you to learn new things. Right, so noticing the improvement in your skills and abilities will increase your confidence, freeing up your energy to learn more and perform better. Okay, so this is simple tips that I would like to share with potential students that would like to enroll in Uniraza, so that they can catch up with this online learning and to build up their confidence.
Thank you, Farhana. Thank you, Miss Farhana. Yeah, they have to, like what all three speakers have been talking about, keep being motivated, keep being positive. There is always rainbow at the end, right? There's always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you know. Yeah, it's true. Students, even though they are away and secluded from people, but no matter what, they still have to be positive. They have to maybe find a way like eating well, exercising, do some yoga, watch a comedy every now and then. You know, so to all our viewers out there, thank you for viewing. Do you have any comments? You have any question? Please direct your questions at the comment section below, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. Thank you for viewing, and we really hope to see some questions after this. Let's move on to Dr. Serha. You know, we've been talking about being positive. We've been talking about students finding a way of braving through this pandemic. But we also know that the major challenges among students is actually facilities or the insufficient means, you know, that would really affect their learning process. You know, they need to be equipped with a functional laptop. It cannot be a laptop that's from 15 years ago. They have to have strong internet connection, like what I had just now. You saw me lagging earlier. You know, even though I live in the city in Kuala Lumpur, I still have internet problem because I live in an old building and it does not have fiber optic. You know, it uses cable. So what are the alternatives that we can do, you know, to help students, especially here at Uniraza or Respite? What are the alternatives? What are the things that Respite can do to help students minimize their challenges so that, you know, they can have a smoother learning experience?
Right, thank you, Tara, for the questions. So I think as an academic, I will always put myself in my students' shoes. I do not know about, you know, other lecturers, but from my perspective, I will try to understand the challenges that they would face. Like the one you mentioned, they might not have a good laptop. Their laptop might be like, you know, like the last 10 years that they have bought it, and then they might not have a strong connections, internet connections, and etc. So we truly understand this. In my case, what I would do is I would not make it like compulsory for them to on their camera, especially if they do not have a strong internet connections. So and then I think secondly, what I will do is I will always try to ask questions to keep them focused and to keep them motivated. As we know, it's not easy for them to remain focused unless the students have the attitude to learn more. If not, then maybe they just like you know, remain silent and then they will not on the camera. So one more what I will do is I will try to use different pedagogy or different way of teaching. For example, I teach finance, and I think using calculator would be a bit difficult. You know, for us to teach if you use online platforms. Hence, I think I would rather use Microsoft Excel and its functions to teach several topics in finance courses. So because I believe this is a good time to prepare for, you know, the business students for the job market later on, because the employer would always like ask if the student knew on how to use Excel. So somehow I think this skills can benefit them in the long run. Sorry. Yeah. So thank you.
You know, it's true. Definitely, it's true. We have to understand from the students' perspective. You know, as people. I mean, as coming from the academic side, educators side, we have to also learn and see how can we make the learning experience a more positive one. So, like what you said, not forcing them to turn on their camera. It's nice, you know, of course, to be able to see faces, but if the internet is too slow, camera takes up a lot of bandwidth. Yeah, definitely. So, Mr. Rasyid, you know, going towards talking about the strength of the lecturers, talking about, you know, how we try to understand students. What are the strengths you think at Uniraza and at Respite that has helped most school leavers to prepare themselves to become better in their education? You know, and maybe you can also talk about how our programs has helped students to not only excel but also to, you know, steer away from being frustrated. You know, especially due to this pandemic.
All right. Thank you very much, okay, for that question. So actually, to address this question, I would like to, you know, share with you our well-known strength at Uniraza, including all of these. Okay, first of all, friendly academic and non-academic staff. Believe me, okay, you can find every single person working at Uniraza are very friendly. Okay, sometimes more than friendly lah. Okay, number two, using state-of-the-art technology for our online class, which is Europe, or sometimes we call it Canvas, that can be accessed using PC, laptop, and even your mobile phone to attend your online class, doing assessment, and refer to the notes. Our track records that produce 90% of employed students Okay, so that's one, okay, quite something, right? Number 4, globally renowned partnership with CPA Australia, Chartered Management Institute of UK, CMI, okay, Malaysian Association of Tax Accountant, Chartered Tax Institute of Malaysia, IFIM, which is stand for Islamic Banking and Finance Institute Malaysia, and many more. And number 5, in 2020, Razak was awarded with a 5-star rating under the Emerging University category by the Ministry of Higher Education for Setara. So this is what we call the strength of Razak. All of those points are more focusing on online learning perspective at Razak. If in campus, physically, the other strength that I can, include it as well is number 1, we are located centralized at the heart of Kuala Lumpur, which is mean that it is a walking distance for your public transport, the biggest supermarket, KLCC, and many more there, okay? And other than that, complete facility that you can imagine with at Razak, okay? So this is for the first part of the question asked by Ms. Tara. Next, we move to how the student, to excel, okay? But by referring to our program. Despite of restrictive situation due to the pandemic, Razak managed to help our students to excel in their studies, not only academically, but also extracurricularly. All right, let me share some of the program that I think interesting for our prospect student to know. Actually, there are hundreds of activities that we provide to all of you at Razak, but this is the one that I think interesting for you to know. In December 2020, Razak organized, a Razak virtual chess challenge, by using Lichess, live chess or Lichess online platform. And then the same month, 2020, we have accounting competency challenge, ACC 2020. We also organized on February 2021, which is this year, BESS eSport Mobile Legend Tournament, which is, some of you might interested, okay, in eSport games. All right. So April 2021, we come up with the Teh Tarik session bersama bekas atlet negara to boost up your motivation. And then this year as well, we have, organized crowdfunding, okay, for Aman Palestine. And one more additional information for all of you, this coming August 2021, actually our university is going to organize one big event, which is, new student and our current student can come and join us for our PUBG eSport tournament. Okay, the university will update accordingly in our social media later. Okay, this is some of the program, okay, other than academic that we conduct at Razak actually for our student. Hope with the program that we line up to all of you, the words of frustration will not be included in your dictionary layer. Okay, thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asht. Yeah, thank you. It's true, there are many programs that is available, Of course, I think that a lot of this might be impacted because we are not able to physically be in campus. But, with technology, we are learning so many new skills, on how to engage audiences and also how to engage students. Yeah, so great. That's really interesting. We actually have a question from a viewer, but before we go to the question, maybe we can go to one question for Ms. Farahana first. And, talking about enhancing students' abilities and students' skills, right? There are many, many short courses available out there. Courses that range from a 1-week course up to 2 weeks, up to a 2 months course, or whatever's your fancy, So in your opinion, Ms. Farahana, what's more important for a graduate for the future? Is it a graduate with a degree but no skills because they are just studying from home, or do you think it's more important for them to graduate with skills but without a degree?
Thank you, Tara, for the question. Right, so in my opinion, okay, to have a certificate is always a bonus, or it's always a ticket for an employment network, right? So, but I think that it is certainly important to have one in order to secure yourself in the future, which may lead to a greater success. Okay, every company are asking for this the certificate degree, diploma, or any other certificate that is suitable for the job. Right, but I think to have an additional skills or hands-on skills is much better for the particular candidate, because reasons why, because it is an added bonus or added advantage for that particular candidate to be more shine compared to the rest of the candidates. So I believe I can share with you for reasons why hands-on skills or experience will be an added advantage in becoming more career ready when students graduate. Okay, so here it introduces you to the world, of course. Okay, so what students do not know right now is they are learning it through online. But what are the things that they do not know is they are actually gaining new knowledge, a new capability by throughout using these virtual platforms, throughout using these learning platforms such as Urox. We urge students to always use any platforms out there to submit their assignments, to do their quiz, or to do their online assessments. Okay, so we open themselves to few options so that they can equip themselves with a few I would say hands-on skills. Okay, so making the shift from school mindset to a working mentality can be very difficult. Yeah, so these students are given the opportunity to integrate their classroom learning from learning with hands-on experience. So what we learn, we try to complement together with the platforms that we have in order to make sure that students equip themselves well with the skills that we are having right now, skills that they are about to have after this. So these allow students to ease into working life without being thrown in head first. Okay, so number two is it sets you apart from other candidates. It may certainly differ you between you and the rest of the candidate, of course, by having these extra skills. Yeah. So third is you can help you to identify your own strength and skills as well. Okay, so wouldn't it be great if you are having these extra miles, extra skills? You are able to use these. You are able to use certain platforms that is quite rare and unique compared to your friends that is not used to using it. So it's quite a good thing for that particular student, especially for uni-related students, and then to gain experience in the field that they are going through. For example, we have the students who are having a major in social media, business analytics. So they are having this extra knowledge, I would say. So this can help them excel and capitalize on their skills. And lastly is it helps you to build connection in the industry itself. Okay, so we have subjects. These subjects allows you to get used to having this connection between you and the companies that you wish to work in the future. Okay, so try to grab the opportunities during the study days by make sure that you make sure yourself visible towards the future potential employer. So that is my opinion on this question. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think they are both pros and cons. Definitely to be someone who is able to work uh, competently in the market, you have to have skills, but you also have to have the knowledge, right? So let's go to our viewers. We actually have a question here, right? So let's look at our question. So the question here is from one of our loyal viewers, which is Mr. M. Arif. Okay, Mr. Arif, the question is, so the question is in Malay, right? Dalam business development, eksekutif ubatan seperti vaksin, apakah kesannya kepada negara dan masyarakat serta kualitinya terhadap kehidupan harian serta ketahanannya? So I think the question is, wait, let me think. I think there was a translation for me, the question. What is, I think, wait, hold on, give me a second. How do you think the vaccine can affect the nation's business state? How does it affect the nation's business state? Would anyone like to try to answer that question? Mr. Rashid, your mic is not on. Can someone turn on Mr. Rashid's mic, please? Yeah. All right, Mr. Rashid.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. All right. So I try to give my best answer lah, if it's possible. All right. Actually, we invested a lot for our vaccine. Okay. And then there are a reason for that. First of all, to achieve herd immunity. Everybody know about this because it keep on appearing in media, okay? For example, in news, television, and so on. After achieving that, which is the herd immunity, it will lead to massively open economic sector in Malaysia. So of course, it's going to boost up positively our currency and also might increase employment back gradually. And overall, of course, all of that is to ensure not only a healthy social life to us, which is, not being caged anymore, but also improvise our economic in respectively. Last but not least, okay, vaccine does not cure the COVID, illness, but it prevent that illness uh, from becoming worse. So please, okay, be careful of COVID. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Rashid, for answering that question. I don't see Dr. Seha's online. Miss Farhana, would you like to answer the question also? You have an opinion or your point of view?
Yes, it's like Mr. Rashid said just now. So vaccine, we have invested a lot in vaccine. So I think it is not, I would say, merugikan lah, for us to get our vaccination and to support whatever that is urged by our government, and to always keep on obey with whatever that is being asked by the government so that we can achieve that herd immunity. So I believe we can put aside first whatever I would say things that is not important at the moment, and we can focus on having this vaccination in order to help a business built in the future. Okay, whatever that we are having right now.
Yeah, talking about the numbers today, 9,180. It's frightening. So the only way to actually stop the number from increasing is actually getting mass population vaccinated, right? And I think that many of us are also excited to start traveling again and visit our families and go on holidays. After 2 years of saving our money, I think we should spend our money a little bit. Of course, we have to also think of those who are suffering financially. Yeah, we cannot downplay that. It's a really big issue. Let's see. Dr. Seha, I think she's not online yet. She must have some technical difficulties. All right, maybe we can go on to the question for Mr. Rashid, right? As for final year students, right? How can we assure that they are ready to face the current challenges, especially in the employment, for the employment, right? So because to get employed nowadays is not easy, right? So maybe you can also share a few tips on making them more marketable.
All right. So I try my best to address this question properly. All right. So for this question, okay, you're ready to face the current challenges. I think number one, what we can do is, teach collaboration as a value and skill set. Student of today needs new skill for the coming century that will make them ready to collaborate with other on a global scale or global level. Whenever or whatever they do, we can expect their work to include finding creative solution to emerging challenges. Okay, point number two, equip themselves also with additional skill that will be a bonus to the student. Okay, the example of additional skill that I can share with you are critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration across network and leading by influence, agility or agility by adaptability, initiative and entrepreneurialism, effective oral and written communication, assessing and analyzing information, whether locally or internationally, curiosity and imagination. It is also important to boost up, your readiness in order to face this current challenge. And then number three, or the last one, use learning beyond the classroom. All right. So students need to use what they learn repeatedly and in different uh, personally meaningful way for short-term memory to become permanent knowledge that can be retrieved and used in the future. Help your student make memories permanent by providing opportunities for them to transfer school learning to real life situation. So this one, for our how to face the current challenges. For the next question asked by Ms. Tara, to become more marketable from other graduate, okay, you guys can get yourself visible through the virtual professional platforms such as LinkedIn. Okay, this one is quite popular. I keep on, mentioning to my student all over again to have LinkedIn account. Get yourself active, as this is one of the major options that can be used regularly to make yourself marketable. Okay, through this platform, it also will introduce a new windows of opportunity and reliable connection for you in the wide industries. Point number 2, join or involve yourself with any webinars that are available for free out there for you. Actually, during pandemic situation that we are facing right now, there are lots of free webinars outside there. Even in our LinkedIn, okay, you can get a free inbox. People keep on sending inbox message to you to ask you to join their webinar for free. Okay, next, equipped with extra skill, for example, computer skill, communication skill, personality skill, and whatsoever. Other than that, actually, the point are similar with the one that I shared before. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you very much, Ms. Tara.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Mr. Rasyid. I think no worries. I think Dr. Sehab, I mean, obviously you see, even we live in Kuala Lumpur, we live in a city, we have internet problem, connection problem. It's just part of life, right? Now, we have a question by our viewer, and there's also a comment by our viewer. So Sunny here, Sunny Lee, he says, I was glad to join an online hangout group initiated by one of UR's lecturer. It was a great experience. Yeah, so that's definitely one of the things that we do here at UniRaza. We actually have online group hangouts, so people can meet up, chat, get to know each other better, catch up, right? And he has a question here, and the question is, there was a platform to have virtual hangout with each other during the pandemic and connect with others. Are there similar support systems in UniRaza and UR? Maybe talking for the students' perspective, what are the platforms or support system that students can expect? Ms. Farahana or Mr. Rasyid, would you like to answer?
I think this one, the one that Dr. Siha can answer. Because I don't know particularly about this support, but I do know that we do have that support, but in specifics I think Dr. Siha know how to address that. Maybe later we can ask her about this.
Okay, maybe later, Dr. Seha. Maybe we can go next to Ms. Farhana, right? So interaction is the major factor for holistic student development. Yes, this is what humans, we are all social animals. We live by communicating with each other. Welcome back, Dr. Seha. Dr. Seha? Okay, never mind. Let me just continue the question with Ms. Farhana. So we are all social animals. No worries. Okay. How does UniRaza manage to interact with students to ensure that all students are able to get the due attention in their learning process? And maybe you can share with us, what are your learning methods, to make sure that you are effective so that students get what they need to get as a student. Ms. Farhana? Ms. Farhana, I think your mic, can you hold on for a minute?
All right, thank you, Tara, for the question. All right, so yes, we know as academics, interaction is key in learning and student development. Okay, nobody likes to be sitting alone at home, doing things alone. But however, in this case, critical situation at the moment, I believe it is certainly an eye-opener for every one of us, especially students, because to learn physically at the moment is impossible, right? So, however, we as students need to adapt well with whatever virtual platforms that is available out there in order to make sure that learning can be done effectively. Okay, so in Uniraza, okay, we have UROX, right? I think most of us, most of the viewers knows already what is UROX. I think students, our Uniraza students, are also giving positive feedback towards this platform. They are happy with whatever platform that they are having right now in order to learn new things. So this UROX, which is most of the, which is quite, I would say, convenience for the students. Okay, because everything that we teach back then, we basically put everything inside that particular platform. So it's just the matter of the students click and the students get involved in whatever that is being uploaded from the lecturers in the UROX. Okay, so what I always implement in my classes, so usually despite of having slides, notes, recording session, okay, I always not just me, I think the rest of the lecturers also interact well with the students by having these interactive quizzes, interactive games. We watch movies that is related with the subject matter, and then so we try to make sure that students are equipped well with whatever I would say that they learn, not just having to see the slides or notes. Okay, so this is what I always do. And then so we also in Unirasa also we encourage students to keep on participate, like I said just now, participate and actively involved in the discussion. Okay, so even though it is a break time, I always emphasize my students to like having this virtual hangout to just chit chat. You can just chit chat during the break time, just to make sure that you are like being in the campus. The session is like in the campus, so that you do not feel left behind or alone. Just be part of the class. Okay, so this is what I always ask them to do. Okay, so and what I can say is students are quite the students who are quite shy before can progressively improve in terms of their confidence level by doing this kind of effort. So I think it is quite good. Right. So and we certainly urge students to seek help if they face any hardship adapting with these platforms, because I know maybe some students are not used to it, especially when they in the last year during the early times that we are using these UROX, everyone are having this issue. But because I do believe there is no regret for us learning new things, right? So just always put a mindset saying that whatever you learn, new things that you learn, it will benefits you in the future, especially in your working environment in the future. So at this point of time, nobody knows what will happen, right, in the future. So make use of anything that is that is available out there for you, and try to make the best out of it. That is my opinion on this question. Thank you.
Yes, your answer definitely shows the adaptiveness of the educators here at Uniraza, and how they are so agile and ready to take a challenge. I remember the first MCO last year, March 18. The day before that, we all had a meeting with the VC, and she says that we might have to start working from home. Are you ready? And I think everyone just jumped right in and dived in. And I remember from I think the previous UR TikTok, I think last week, that was moderated by Miss Grace. It says that our numbers of students have actually increased. The number of students enrolled in university is actually increased. So it's like students are actually more encouraged, to start studying, because I think of the platform like UROX, and because of the support of the lecturers, right? So we actually have a question here by our viewer. Maybe we can go to our question here. All right. This question here is by Mr. Ahmad Fami Amir. All right. In the current economic situation, okay, going on in Malaysia, so we're specifically talking about Malaysia, is it wise to invest ourselves and further our studies? Is it wise to invest in ourselves, right? Because studying costs money. Yeah, studying is not free; it costs money. So, Mr. Arshad, would you like to try and answer that?
All right. Okay, for this question, I think based on our current trends of students coming in this from our online distance learning or on ODL class lah, okay, part-timer student, I think it is best time for you to invest yourself for education, especially during this pandemic situation. Okay, why? Okay, this is the perspective, my personal perspective lah. Number one, maybe it helps us to make a better decision. All right. So the quality of your decision will shape the outcome of your life and career. Of course, with education, by educating yourself, you might come up with some sort of very or high quality kind of decision for your life. Number two, okay, after finishing your study, it open more opportunities to you. Okay, so education open your mind, and more importantly, it increase your opportunities, whether to climb up for the next position and whatsoever. It could be some sort of opportunity for you as well in your life. All right, next, okay, by learning more, actually we earn more. If we try to measure it through monetary kind of ways, maybe it quite impossible or some sort of illogical. But in terms of overall, I think by learning more, actually we earn more in terms of our value, our personality, social life, okay, how to manage things even in different ways, okay, and actually also my personal perspective as well. Education is the only lifelong investment. Okay, if you invest in houses, maybe you need to let go your house. Okay, during pandemic, we need to let go of house because don't have any job and whatsoever. But education, whenever you invest it towards knowledge, it will follow us until we die lah. So hope that answer your question lah. So that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah, education is your lifelong investment. It'll just only be something positive. Yeah, of course. Those of you who are interested in coming into our Rakyat program, we have so many financial assistance and scholarship that's available. You just have to go and check our website and call and contact our marketing personnel. Right. So we actually have one last question here, and the question is actually for Dr. Seha, talking about the programs offered here at Bank Rakyat School of Business, or Brisbane, right? And maybe Ms. Farahana or Mr. Rasyid, do you have the info that you can share with us about the programs that's offered here at our faculty? Ms. Farahana, would you like to share with us the programs offered at our faculty in Brisbane?
Okay, so actually in Raza we have variety of programs actually. So in various slide, we offered focusing on management, okay, Bachelor of Management. Okay, what are the good things that we have here in Raza is we not only focusing on full-time students who are just finishing their SPM, but we certainly focus on part-timers, working adults who are trying to have their additional certificates. So we are having those programs as well. So other than that, we also have this diploma in management, diploma in sports management. Okay, we have somewhat this BBA, which is Bachelor of Business Administration in Sales Management, Entrepreneurship. So these are the programs that is, I would say, sellable, and it is quite marketable in the market. Okay, so I think students wish, potential students wish to enroll themselves in Uniraza. This is the best time, because we have variety of specification as well, such as social media. We have this digital marketing, which is very, very much marketable at the moment. People, I'd say the environment, working environment, the employees are searching for this kind of background actually. So because these are the current trend and the current, I would say, current need by the market. Okay, so any additional information Rasyid can share as well if you have.
Great. Mr. Rasyid, would you have anything you want to add to that?
I think that's add up to everything actually by Ms. Farahana. I think no,
Yeah.
for me.
Great. Yeah, of course, at Uniraza also our lecturers are specialists and also expert areas, in the field of their subject, whether it's marketing, finance, technology, and things like that, But the one interesting thing that I would like to share about Uniraza is also that there's so many modes of studying. You can be a full-time student, you can be a part-time student, you can be a part-time weekend-only student, So the
Yes.
opportunities are there, So you can say that I'm busy working Monday to Friday, but your Saturdays and Sundays, you can try to find a little bit of time, Or we have also the program where it's part time, where you only work, study on weekdays, but after office hours. So there are many modes available out there. I mean, at Unirazak, right? So I think that we've come to almost the end of our session, and we have a few comments from our viewers. We have MRA, thank you again. Terima kasih ya, selalu sangat tanya soalan dan sangat positif. Thank you all for answering our question. Thank you. Also, we have Grace here, Miss Grace. Thank you, everyone. She said, thanks, everyone. Fun and light discussion today. Yeah. So before we end, I'd just like to highlight a few things. Uniraza July intake is now currently open. Yeah. So please grab your free foundation program if you are starting from the foundation. If not, you can also register for the degree course, your master's course, or even the doctorate course if you are interested. And you can go to our website. It is www.uniraza.edu.my. And you can also contact us, as you can see at our screen below. Our numbers are available for us. It's 0327891599. Or you can also email us at drjoe@uniraza.edu.my. Someone will definitely get back to you. And to all our viewers and also to our friends out there, please don't forget to follow our channel, My Uniraza, Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. And thank you so much to our speakers, Ms. Farahana, Mr. Rasyid, and also Dr. Seha. Thank you so much. I'm sure Dr. Seha sends her apologies and her thanks to all of you. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Please stay tuned for our next session, which is Friday again. Every Friday, we have your TikTok. And everybody, please remember, stay safe, keep your distance, wash your hands, and also try to get vaccinated. Let's not repeat the numbers of 9,000 today. It's too disheartening for Malaysia. So thank you, everybody, and see you around. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, everybody.